The war in Ukraine continues with full intensity. July 10th, 2026. Two soldiers on a road, face to face with an FPV drone. Running is the only real move they've got. The operator keeps adjusting, closing in, backing off, trying again. They dodge a few passes, stay just out of reach. Then, for some reason, they end up side by side. That's the moment it connects. Both of them in the same strike. The moment he steps out of the trench, the drone is already there, waiting. Same setup, different soldier. A drone waiting on the ground outside the trench. The moment he steps out, it's the last thing he sees. Walking alone through open ground, no idea what's tracking him from above. Exhausted, moving without purpose. The kind of soldier who looks like he's been out here too long, with no support and no direction. The 6th Battalion keeps the reconnaissance drone locked on while an FPV closes the distance. He finds shade under a tree, sits down to rest from the heat, a brief pause in whatever this mission is supposed to be. The drone arrives in those exact seconds. Weapon beside him, no time to reach for it. No warning, no reaction, just the drone closing in. One of the strangest moments on this front. A Russian soldier walking through a field with an FPV drone right beside him. No reaction, no panic. Just keeps walking as if nothing is there. What's going through his mind in that moment is impossible to know. The drone doesn't wait to find out. A Russian soldier spotted slipping into an underground shelter hidden among rubble. The kind of position that would have stayed completely invisible without aerial surveillance. Ukraine's sword unit, 4-post border brigade, tracks the entry and moves in immediately. An FPV drone goes in first, but the operation doesn't stop there. A ground team arrives and places explosive charges directly at the entrance. Anti-tank mines detonated in place. Whatever was inside that shelter isn't coming out. Under the rail line, somewhere in the gaps and shadows, a soldier tucked in tight. The search is slow, careful, checking every space one at a time. He's in there somewhere. Then the drone threads through, precise, working the angle just right. No room left to disappear into. Russian soldiers bringing fuel and ammunition to their position by vehicle. A supply run that doesn't complete. An FPV drone intercepts the vehicle mid-route, striking it directly. The vehicle burns along with everything it was carrying. The soldiers reach their position on foot, with nothing. 10 meters apart, moving through open ground, two soldiers, no cover between them or around them. Ukraine's Magyar birds already have both marked. Neither gets the chance to fight back. Out here, in the open, there's rarely a way through. Ukrainian artillery striking Russian infantry in the town of Ilsky, Kherson Oblast. A well-aimed barrage that stops the advance before it gets anywhere close. Ukraine's Magyar's birds operator searching a field for a soldier spotted earlier but lost track of. After scanning the area for a while, the drone finds him again, lying flat in the grass, trying to disappear into the ground. As the drone closes in, he tries to kick it away. That's the last move he makes. Resting under a tree, a Russian soldier suddenly face to face with a drone. Nothing left to try but a kick. It doesn't help. A Ram 2X drone targeting a Russian armored vehicle on Arabat Spit, 122 kilometers from the front line. The crew opens fire trying to bring it down. It connects anyway. A Ural truck and a fuel tanker moving together along the same road, Kherson region. Ukraine's 426th Unmanned Systems Regiment tracks both. Personnel riding along don't have anywhere to go either. One after another, the convoy stops here. Russian soldiers abandoned by their own command in the Lyman direction, left to fend for themselves, looting ruins of local homes in search of supplies. They have no idea they're being watched. Ukraine's 66th Mechanized Brigade Fireflies track every move, letting it play out a little longer before acting. Then the bombing drones move in, munitions dropping one after another directly onto the position. The blast scatters the group. The ones still moving get picked up by FPV drones moving in immediately after. The looting ends here. Nobody walks away from this one. A building in Kostiantynivka, Donetsk region. Russian soldiers using it as cover. The first hit comes from above, aviation striking the structure directly. Nearby, Ukraine's 156th Mechanized Brigade already has FPV drones on standby, watching the area. The moment soldiers are spotted moving through it, the drones move in. 2 waves, same stretch of ground, nothing built to survive both. Ukrainian forces using the French Caesar, self-propelled howitzer, to strike Russian positions, a weapon that changed the artillery equation on this front. GPS-based automatic positioning, an integrated fire control system, a range of up to 38 kilometers using extended range ammunition. At that range, Russian artillery can't reach back. Ukrainian crews fire and relocate before any counter-battery response has a chance to arrive.
Гармата!
Fuel was supposed to reach this position. A Russian soldier on a quad bike, jerry cans loaded, mid-delivery. Ukraine's prime unit finds the run before it completes. One strike takes out the quad bike, the fuel, and the delivery entirely. Another supply chain, cut short before anything reaches where it was headed. Lyman direction. Fatum unit and 3rd Corps operators working through Russian assets in this sector. 2 armored vehicles taken out. Vehicles carrying equipment, ammunition, and fuel burned out completely. A quad bike and an artillery piece located and struck by 3rd Corps pilots in the same sweep. Then the trenches themselves. Fortified positions cleared one by one. A systematic find and clear operation that leaves nothing functional behind. Ukrainian Su 27 pilots striking a Russian assault group concentration in Rodynske with an AASM Hammer guided bomb, a direct hit before the attack could launch. A small village near Pokrovsk turned into a defensive position, fortified buildings, soldiers inside, dug in for the long term. Ukraine's 3rd Special Operations Forces Regiment doesn't send one drone. It sends waves, one after another, each pass forcing a response before the next one's already inbound. Building after building, taken out before it can serve as cover again. By the end, the village is rubble, and the position with it. The battle in the sky above this front never stops. Russian Molniya 2-strike drones coming in, Ukraine's ODIN interceptors already rising to meet them. The footage shows exactly what those intercepts look like up close. The closing distance, the moment of contact, the drone going down before it reaches anything. Ukraine's Ostry-Kartuzy unit has refined this into something rare. A reusable interceptor platform. Most interceptors sacrifice themselves in the process. These ones come back, get reloaded, and go again. Another batch of Molniyas intercepted. Another wave that never lands. Ukraine's Taganrog unit dropping heavy munitions from bombing drones directly onto Russian positions. No FPV drones this time, just high-impact payloads from above. Every position identified gets hit. The destruction is more total, more immediate. Position after position cleared in the same operation. Ukraine's Perun unit wrapping up a day's work. Russian Molniya and FPV drones intercepted before they reached their targets. Logistics vehicles struck along supply routes. Personnel caught in the open. A full day of operations compressed into this footage. The same rhythm, running without pause. 13 vessels in a single night. 10 tankers, a cargo ship, a ferry, a tugboat, all part of the same sanctioned fleet moving fuel toward Crimea. Over the past 120 hours, that number climbs to 48. Further inland, 5 substations go dark across the peninsula in the same stretch of night. Deeper still, 41 additional military targets get hit across occupied Crimea and the southern region. Back along the front line, the tally keeps climbing too. Personnel, equipment, positions, all part of the same 24 hours. By the count, over 1,600 targets in a single day, across sea, sky, and ground. July 10th, a 5th straight night of strikes against Russia's oil network. The Ilsky refinery in Krasnodar, one of southern Russia's largest at 6.6 million tons of annual capacity, hit again. The Kurganefta product oil terminal in Taganrog port, burning. An oil depot in Azov. 2 separate fire locations reported. 18 vessels struck in the Sea of Azov in a single operation. Russia has now started buying gasoline from Belarus at record volumes, roughly 20 times the normal rate, to cover domestic shortages stretching from the Far East to Kaliningrad. The campaign isn't letting up. What you just watched is happening every single day. Soldiers walking without direction, hiding in pipes and ditches, supplies that never arrive. As of today, July 10th, Russia's total combat losses have reached approximately 1,416,280 personnel, 1,460 in the last 24 hours alone, one of the highest single-day figures in months. Ukraine's commander-in-chief confirmed today that Russia's territorial advances have slowed by more than half in the first 6 months of 2026. Russian soldiers are now sometimes forced to carry supplies on foot for more than 50 kilometers because logistics routes keep getting cut. Meanwhile, Ukraine struck major oil facilities overnight and 18 more vessels in the Sea of Azov. Russia is now buying gasoline from Belarus at 20 times the normal rate. Russia keeps sending men forward. Ukraine keeps finding them, on the ground, in the sky, and in every fuel line feeding the war. Drop a comment, how much longer can Russia sustain this?